Hours away now. I can't wait. There are a lot of ifs and unknowns as we hear there, but very happy to say we've got expert analysis from CBS Evening News anchor and managing editor. That's Norah O'Donnell, and our chief political analyst, John Dickerson. Good morning. Good to see you guys.
Good morning.
Yeah, we got long hours ahead, but I know we're all psyched about this. John, I want to start with you because I saw you on Sunday morning yesterday, and you said this, that Americans are electing more than just a person. They're electing values, temperament, and character. So based on the closing arguments that you've seen, what are you feeling? What do you believe?
Well, first, my point there was presidencies there's a single president, but presidencies are built by all the people they bring in, all the values they teach those people who work for them, and that ends up determining an administration. What do we see in our closing arguments? Kamala Harris is trying to basically embody her argument, which is she wants to turn the page. She's actually turning the page in her own campaign, focusing less on Donald Trump and more on a kind of uplifting, optimistic message saying we need to leave all that darkness in the past. Donald Trump is stapling the page to the book. He's basically saying these things that she says that she doesn't like about me, I'm going to show you those in full. He's talking about immigration and economy and that kind of thing, but he's behaving in a way that is fully Donald Trump. What does that mean for the presidency? It means that Kamala Harris is bound and pushed and constrained by kind of the traditional rules of politics. She's ending by appealing to the middle. We've seen that our whole lives covering politics. What does it mean about Donald Trump? It means he's going to do what he's going to do. However, he's going to do it his own way, and that would certainly be true for a second administration.
A lot of people say, though, that his message is getting darker. Nora, let's focus on the women, the gender gap we keep hearing about. And Tony and Anthony just touched on that. What are you seeing? What are you hearing? Do you think there's going to be a secret women vote, Republican women in particular?
This is the first presidential election since the overturning of Roe versus Wade. When abortion has been on the ballot in 7 states in 2022, all of them went for pro-abortion measures. So in other words, women turned out. They stunned the polls, even in conservative states. Will that repeat itself on Election Day? We can already see in the early vote in some states a huge amount of women turning out at the polls. Anecdotally, we're hearing cases of this silent Harris voter, women who, when they meet door knockers, walk out, close the door behind them and say, I don't want my husband to know, but I am voting for Kamala Harris. The New York Times poll yesterday shows that late deciders are breaking towards Kamala Harris. A senior campaign official last night saying they do feel momentum. They feel like young people and women are turning out. That's their message. It could be just their spin. That's what they say that they are hearing. But last night in East Lansing at MSU, you heard Kamala Harris. For the first time, she did not mention Donald Trump's name. That is her closing argument. If she can get Gen Z out, if she can get younger women, if she can expand the gender gap and make it historic, she will become the first woman president of the United States.
So Kamala Harris did something unprecedented. She had a little bit over 3 months to start this campaign under the circumstances after Biden stepped down, or stepped aside, shall I say. Did she answer the question of people asking themselves, do I know her? Did she do a good job of that?
Did she answer the who is she question?
Who is she question?
Just to put what she has done in her campaign in perspective, it ain't easy to run for president. Otherwise, you'd have President Scott Walker or President Ron DeSantis, people who came in being superstars in their party, and then in the realities of the campaign, they had to, it didn't work out for them. Did she make the sale? She was still making the sale about her biography Tuesday on the Capitol when she was giving the beginning of her closing arguments. And so clearly they're still concerned about that people don't know her, particularly these late deciding voters. So we'll see on Tuesday or whenever the determination is made whether enough people decided to put the country's fortunes in her hands. And it's now up to the voters telling us. But clearly they still think there is still some work for her to do because she was still talking about her history and who she was in her closing argument. That's not traditional.
It's a great question, Nate. And I think probably when people went to finally fill out their mail-in ballot or go vote early in person, it forced them to get to know her. And I think some of the surrogates out on the campaign trail have been trying to make that case. Certainly the Obamas have been out there making that case forcefully, including Michelle Obama, who said, well, is there a double standard about claiming you don't know who she is? She's been vice president of the United States. She's been senator for 2 years. She's been attorney general. She's been a prosecutor. So check out her record. So, but this was what Matt, the polls, everybody I've talked to, they've never seen anything this close, ever. This race should favor Donald Trump. More people are registered as Republicans. 2/3 of the country think we're on the wrong track. In that case, they usually throw out the incumbent party. So if she were to pull this out, that would be absolutely remarkable. The fundamentals favor Donald Trump.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I know you two are working around the clock. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, we appreciate it.
you.
Thanks for getting up early.
Donna and John Dickerson. And on election night, be sure to join both Norah and John and Gayle and the whole team for complete coverage from our headquarters here in New York City with real-time results, analysis, and exclusive polling. That coverage begins at 4 p.m. Eastern on our CBS News 24/7 streaming channel and at 7 p.m. Eastern on the CBS television network.